Oh, that was a very good game, and especially the first 10 minutes. Good goal from Kaizer Chiefs, good move. I was so impressed. They didn't do when they release Abu Kekana, they release Abu Mukwena, Maseko, Sipumbu. Yes, Arrows they also need 3 points, but Paris they need to be more hunger than the Golden Arrows in terms of getting the 3 points, because when you get that 3 points, then it puts them in another better position.
You need facts, figures, scores, and scoops, and the truth.
Welcome to Tso's Football Wisdom. Leo, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and post. Oi, oi. Look, that was a very good game, and especially the first 10 minutes. I'm a coach for life. That's a big team, When you play against Kaizer Chiefs, you must know that the whole world will come to a standstill. Even the flies, they don't fly on that day. They're just gonna sit, especially when it comes to the time of the kickoff. They will sit down and watch the game. And look, that was a very good game. Good goal from Kaizer Chiefs, good move. I was so impressed with the way actually Kaizer Chiefs they started to play, knocking the ball around, seeing Ngobo, carrying the ball, making everyone moves. There were some moments where I thought, is it really the Chiefs that we watch against Marumo Gallants, or these are different players? Because there were moments where Pirates were pressing Chiefs in the corner, but I saw Chiefs having good touches, move away from the pressure, going to another side, and I was so impressed. And even the build up to the goal, for me, that was wonderful. And well done to that beautiful goal, Lilepo. And Chiefs they did very well, but like I said, that between the father and the son, there's always that soft spot and the respect between the two parties. And you need to show that you are old. Sometimes when you see that your son is becoming naughty, you need to give a swipe a bit, and that's what happened. And Pirates they came back to the party. They've shown the quality. I was worried, and I'm still worried with the coach of Pirates, Jose, in terms of the role that he's playing, Uluntuzana, Kingama 2000 behind the strikers. We don't see him much in that role. And it's worrying me, because when you look at the whole first half, it seems like we didn't have Kingama 2000, and it was really worrying me. And good equalizer for Orlando Pirates. Very good equalizer. It was in a matter of time that they had to come to the party. But one thing that I've seen in that game, the delay. I don't know. I'm in this one, before I can go on and on with the game, I'm just gonna plead to all the supporters, Pirates and Chiefs. I'm asking, please, guys, let's come on time to the game. Let's come on time to the game, because it also plays a part in the player's mind, in the player's body. If the game is going to be delayed by 30 minutes, it also plays a part, because if you can look at how Pirates started the game, if you really know what's happening in terms of being a player, psychological and physical, you'll understand that Pirates players, their mind and body were still in the changing room in terms of their reaction they had in the game. They took time to get to the game, and it affects sometimes a team, more or less the whole results of the game, because some teams, they can get 2-3 goals while you guys are still trying to find yourself in the game, and then shut down everything, and you find it difficult for yourself to come back to the game. But eventually they manage Paris to come back to the game, get an equalizer, and then now it was after about 30 minutes. Now you see Paris, they're coming to the game. Now they can knock the ball around. Now they can get to that final third, and it was good. But I'm just pleading to all the supporters that please come on time to the game, so that there's no delay. Because because the delay, it also affects players, doesn't also affect the officials, it affects the mentality of the players and team in terms of being ready to play the game. And the body, because when you go and warm up, your body, your system is ready to go inside the field of play and play. But now if you're going to delay with 30 minutes, it also affects the body and affects the psychological part of the players. Second half, that was very good. That was Paris that I know. The other player that, for me, did very, very well. I was so impressed with him, Ulontuzana Unkota. He did very well. You know, if you look at Ikolia Gwanasesi, it was a transition, you know. Look at how Chiefs they played. The Chiefs, they were attacking at that moment. When they were attacking, and I thought, if he had 2-3 seconds thinking about what is that he needs to do, just 2-3 seconds, because Sereno was making a very good run on the right side. If he had about 2 to 3 seconds before he can take a decision to play a pass, he was going to see Sereno and play Sereno instead of him trying to play it diagonally for Lilepo. That's when he lost the ball. And when he lost the ball, Pirates immediately, they just played the transition to Nkota. Nkota, very good pass. You know, okay, I can agree with Chiefs that maybe, Chiefs didn't have strikers and they had Utuba against Maromo Kalans, and I think he got injured. That's why he didn't play against Orlando Pirates. And Pirates, we do have strikers. We've got Mahopa, we've got Mabasa, we've got Rajupan. And my worry with Pirates is that I think Jose preferred to have Mahopa as his main striker. And it's worrying me too much that you prefer somebody that will chase defenders, but when we need him to score goals, he's not there. And I was so happy. I was so very, very happy for him that when Nkota got that ball, he was in the right position. I always say to the strikers, your job, all the teams have got wingers. Your job is to score goals. And if you play around the big box, whatever action that you do, you must make sure that you are in that big box so that when you get the ball, then you are in a good area where you can take a shot and get a goal. And that's why Mahopa managed to score that goal, because he was in that position that I always ask him to say, I know you want to chase. I know you've got the energy, you can do it. But, you know, now don't forget your primary job. Your primary job is to score goals. And for me, that was wonderful. That was a beautiful goal that he scored. The second shot that he took, he was again where, in that position where I'm saying, as a striker, you must always put yourself in an angle where you know that the posts are just nearer from you. They're not far from you. And for him to take that shot, he needed some couple of seconds because Mofokeng was just next to him. It was a situation of 2v1 actually. So he was in the hurry to take a shot, and but I think Pirates do have strikers. The only difference is how the team plays, and the coach prefers certain players compared to really what we need as a team. But for Chiefs, I can agree. Yes, Lilepo came in there in that striking position. I think he did well to score a goal. But again, you can see that he's not a striker. He tried to play, and also the saves, the support, the saves from his midfielders were not good enough. This thing of a special project, it's I would say it's a belief that from individual people that I know if I can use this, it will work for me, and it's hard really to say it's working, it's not working, because there's some actions where you were like, but kanjani man, yenzakale kanjani lento lena, because it was not supposed to happen, so you don't know whether it's these things or it's God that put you in that position so that action will happen. But I will say, Mina, this thing it's up to individuals in terms of the beliefs. If you believe in it, it will work for you. If you don't believe in it, it's not going to work for you. No, it's hard. I'm not saying there are teams that they deserve to play around the relegation zone, but a team like SuperSport to find themselves in that position, it's worrying me. With the history that they've got in terms of the development, the players that they produce, and they find themselves now in that position where they need to say, we need a win so that we can survive the relegation. It's worrying me that it means there's a turning point. There's something that they are not doing right at SuperSport. That's why they find themselves in that position, because if you can check the past few seasons, even when Gavin Hunt came back from Kaizer Chiefs, I said they'll be in top 5, and they end up top 3, Ulontuzana or Gavin Hunt. And what happened this season, I don't know. I think they just need to go back to their roots and go back to what is it that they've been doing that was working for the team. Because if not, they're not going to do that, I think even the next season they're still going to struggle. Look, I like Coach Gavin Hunt. I like him a lot. I respect him. He did wonders in the game. I played against him several times. I've seen what is that he can do. Sometimes the problem becomes the coach's problem. Because if the team doesn't do the right things, it goes back to the coach to say, hey, you coach, you must go. But I think SuperSport, let's look back. How many players they release? They sell players. And remember that when you sell this good player, you must have a replacement. So that's where SuperSport, they didn't do. When they release Abu Kekana, they release Abu Mokwena, Maseko, Sipombule, they release quality players. But when you look at the replacement that they get, for me, that's why I'm saying I'm worried that they didn't do what SuperSport they normally do in terms of bringing in the development players to get to the spaces of Mukwena and Bule and Kekan. They didn't do that. Instead, what they did is that they went to get players from other teams to come and fill up that gap. And for me, that's not SuperSport. SuperSport, they don't do that. SuperSport, what they do is that whatever they do, they believe that their structure of development is proper. And the players that are coming from development, they're just going to come in the senior team and do well. I think it was not Gavin Hunt's problem. It's just the team itself. They just need to go back to their roots, to go back to their culture and their way of doing things. Kabuyelo. To be really honest, I would say Pirates, they just make it easier for Sundowns, where they're supposed to make it difficult for Sundowns. When they lost against Babina Noko, Iskukuna United, when they lost against Iskukuna United, and then they made it easier for Sundowns, because Sundowns, you can see their mentality. You can see the in terms of how they approach the games. They don't leave any game like to say, no, we can just change and rest so and so and rest so and so. They just go all the way. And well done, Gabuyelo. They're doing very well. And I thought the league is over after they lost against Pirates lost against Iskukun. I thought Sundowns, by winning, the league is over. Because why I said that? I said that because I was looking at against Derby. Derby, the past few seasons, it was always a draw, So I never thought that, yes, even though I had it behind on the back of my mind that Paris will win the game, but I was skeptical because most of the time the Derby end up with a draw. So I said, no, the league is over. But now, look, Kabuyelo, they are showing why they are champions. The type of football they're playing, the spirit. They control the game against the Ilontuzana and Cape Town City from the first whistle. And they've shown why they're the best team in the Betway Premiership. You know, the type of football they're playing, the creativity, how they score goals. I mean, you look at the Renas when he made that run, you know, away from the defense, get the ball instead of him just putting that cross first time. No, he had a touch, he closed it back and wait for his teammate to make a run, and a good run, Eka Matthews, and then a good pass, Galontuzana Yake Renas. It tells you Sundowns, the quality players that they do have. The goalie Ake Futu Renas. Look at the run ka Renas and look at the pass Casales. You know, the weight of the pass, the eye contact between the players, you know, the timing of that pass. Casales, a good finish from Renas. Renas has just improved in a way that I never thought that is going to improve in finishing, and he's doing very well. Kabuyelo, look, Paris and Sundowns, they're still playing. You know, Paris, they still have a game in hand. You'll never know in this football because sometimes, you know, you never know. Maybe Paris, maybe Sundowns will lose one game, draw one game, and then Paris find themselves with a driving seat. You'll never know. So I think you just have to wait until maybe the last two games. Look, one was people, they need to realize the importance of individual players in the team. And I've seen around and I hear people talking, they undermine the role of Mofokeng in that midfield. Mofokeng is playing a very, very, very important role in that midfield of Orlando Pirates. And I think in that game, they needed Mofokeng to drive them. And yeah, look, Eric is a very good coach. Let's not undermine him. He's a very good coach. I like him, you know, way back when he was still a player. I used to carry his back when they play Africa Cup of Nations, 96, when they've won. I was a ball boy carrying their bags. Nabo the late John waiting. So I like him from there, looking at his game, and he's a very, very smart coach. He can play beautiful football, and when he became an assistant coach at Wits, and then he went to Pirates again, being an assistant and being a coach, he understands and knows the strength of Pirates, how Pirates they play. Because if you look at that game against the Pirates on Skukune, he played very well. He looked as if he doesn't wanna open up for them. He was right, you know, closing the game to say, look, I don't want to give Pirates space and time, especially individual players, because this boy, Makhaila, he played very well in terms of giving an eye on the King of Yama 2000. And because if you close down the King of Yama 2000, then it's almost -1 problem. And that's what Eric did. He tried to make sure that he neutralized Oloduzana Mofokeng and wait for Paris to make a mistake. And Paris, they made a mistake, and then they got punished. And yeah, well done to Eric. He did very well with Skukune. That's also another big game for Orlando Pirates and for also Coach Manqoba. I like Coach Manqoba, even though at some point I was, you know, harsh on him, on top of him when he was at Sundowns, especially when he was head coach at Sundowns. I was on top of him with some decision that he was taking at Sundowns. But I know his strength. I know what is that he can do in this football and South African football. And, you know, when I heard that he's going back to Arrows, I was so happy because they will see the Manqoba that we all know. The Manqoba that won MTN 8 Ashai Ajax lapha in Orlando Stadium. Lo Manqoba loyo is the Manqoba that we are seeing again now with the type of football. You can look at the difference when he came back to Arrows, how now they're playing, you know, the transition, about CBC, the way they're playing, like Pabondwandwe. He's got a very good team, and he's been doing very well. It's going to be a very tight one, and it's up to Pirates that they need to show how much they need the 3 points. Yes, Arrows, they also need 3 points, but Pirates, they need to be more hunger than the Golden Arrows in terms of getting the 3 points, because when you get that 3 points, then it puts them in another better position, looking at how Mamelodi Sundowns are going in the Betway Premiership.